So day 2 in multiplication involves using the distributive law to multiply a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number. By distributive law, we're talking about breaking the number up, so you're not looking at it as one whole, you're dealing with it in maybe ones and tens and then recombining it back together. So let's have a look at some examples that are going to help you with the tasks set for today. So the distributive law, breaking it up, you might use jottings to do that. It's an informal method. You might use the grid to do this, or you might use an informal jotting to do this. So I can show you what it looks like, or what it could look like. So one of the first questions we have a look at, if we're going to have a look at 31 multiplied by 5, okay, instead of taking 31 all together, 31, we will look at partitioning it or breaking it up. So we'd look at 30 times 5 and 1 times 5. So one of the ways we can do this is by using that grid to help us. This should look familiar because you would have looked at this in year 3. So instead of taking 31, you will separate it into 30 and 1, and that will help you to do the calculation separately. You can see how this leads in from yesterday's lesson, because 5 times 3 is 15, so 5 times 30 is 150. 5 times 1 is 5. You recombine it back together. 31 times 5 is 155. So that's what we mean by breaking that number down, distributive law, breaking it down so you're dealing with it in its tens and ones. Another calculation we can have a look at to help you, we can have a look at 36 multiplied by 4. Again, you can break it down. You can talk about doing it 30 times 4, which would be 120, linking it from yesterday, and 6 times 4 is 24. If you put it back together, it would be 144. So it's an informal method, a way of jotting it down, and you might break it up using a grid, you might break it up using something that looks a bit more like this, but you're just dealing with the larger number. Instead of dealing with it in one jump, you're trying to break it up into tens and ones. That's what today's lesson will be asking you to do.